Have you ever noticed that the heaviest thing you carry is a person who is no longer there? What if the peace you are so desperately searching for is being blocked by a shadow you refuse to let fade? If you have ever met someone new, only to silently measure them against a person you lost, if you have ever felt exhausted by a cycle of endless comparisons, this is for you. Stay until the end, because the final lesson may change the way you see this pain forever. You sit across from someone new. They smile, they speak, they offer you their time, their attention, and their heart. But deep in your mind, you are not really looking at them. You are looking for an echo. You are silently checking a list of boxes left behind by a ghost. You notice how this new person does not laugh the same way. You notice how they do not understand that specific look you give, or they do not know how you prefer to spend a rainy afternoon. Suddenly, a quiet wave of sadness washes over you. You pull away. Why does everyone feel so inadequate? Why does starting over feel less like a fresh beginning and more like a heavy burden? Buddhist wisdom teaches us deeply about the nature of attachment. True suffering does not merely come from the physical loss of someone. The deepest, most lingering suffering comes from trying to freeze that lost person in time, and then demanding that the entire rest of the world fits seamlessly into that frozen mold. We cling. We hold on so tightly, not just to the person, but to the familiarity of the space they occupied and the exact way they made us feel. Imagine walking into a beautiful, vibrant new forest, but you are wearing a pair of glasses painted with the exact scenery of your old home. No matter how magnificent the trees are right in front of you, everything looks wrong. The colors clash, the shapes do not align. You stumble over roots you cannot see because your eyes are firmly fixed on a horizon that only exists in your memory. You are blind to the present because you are obsessing over the past. This is exactly what happens in our lives when we carry an unresolved loss into a new chapter. We try to open our hearts, yet we are still wearing the glasses of our past. We judge a new person's quietness because the person we lost was talkative. We feel anxious when someone is actually calm and consistent because we became so deeply accustomed to the unpredictable chaos of the one who left. We turn a beautiful new connection into an unfair audition for an old, retired role. Think about your own life. Ask yourself right now, are you truly looking for a new connection, or are you just searching for a replacement part for a life that no longer exists? Are you giving this new person a chance to be exactly who they are, or are you punishing them for not being someone else? Pause, breathe, let that sink in. The next time you find yourself comparing a new smile to an old one, do not fight it. Simply observe the thought without following it. Acknowledge it quietly in your mind. Say to yourself, I am looking for the past right now. Let the feeling rise without making it your identity. And then, gently, softly, bring your focus back to the breathing, living person sitting right in front of you. You cannot see the beauty of what is here if you are constantly mourning what is missing. But realizing this habit is only the first step. Letting go of that old image is incredibly difficult when your mind has convinced you that it was flawless. And this is where the next truth begins. 2. The illusion of the perfect mold. Here is the truth few people want to face. The person you lost was never the version you are currently holding in your memory. We possess a strange, self-protective habit of polishing our memories of the lost. We trim away the edges, smooth over the conflicts, and highlight the light, creating a statue of perfection that no living human could ever hope to replicate. We are not comparing new people to a person. We are comparing them to a dream. When you hold a new person up to this gilded memory, you are setting them up for an impossible task. You are demanding they be as familiar as an old jacket, as comforting as a home you lived in for years, and as predictable as your own heartbeat. But a new person is a mystery. They are a landscape you have not yet mapped. They carry their own weather, their own storms, and their own unique sunlight. In Buddhist thought, this is the trap of reification, the act of turning a fluid, changing life into a static, unchanging object. We take a human life, which is defined by its constant movement and growth, and we freeze it into a monument. We then feel frustrated when the living world refuses to stop moving. Imagine you are holding a cup of cold, stagnant water. You have become so accustomed to its taste that you refuse to even look at the fresh, flowing stream passing right beside you. You look at the stream and think, "This is too fast," or "This doesn't taste like my cup." You become dehydrated because you are clinging to a vessel that no longer contains anything life-giving. You are so busy mourning the loss of the cup that you fail to realize you are dying of thirst. Think about the traits you find yourself looking for. Is it really their love you miss, or is it the feeling of safety you had when you knew exactly what to expect? Often, we cling to the person we lost because they provided a structure for our days. We are not just mourning them. We are mourning the comfort of predictability. When we compare new people to them, we are actually searching for that lost sense of control. We want the new person to be the same, so that we don't have to do the hard work of learning how to be vulnerable in an uncertain, new environment. Ask yourself, am I looking for a partner, or am I looking for a script? If you are looking for a script, you are not looking for a connection. You are looking for a performance. You want them to recite the lines you already know by heart, rather than listening to the unique song they are singing. Pause. Look at the person in front of you. Truly look at them. Notice the way their hands move when they are nervous. Notice the specific, imperfect way they hold their coffee. Notice that they are here, now, in the present moment. They are not a repetition. They are a new beginning. You do not need to replace the past. You only need to make space for the present. The mold you are trying to force others into is keeping you trapped in a cage of your own making. And the hardest part of escaping that cage is realizing that you are the one holding the key. 3. The weight of holding two people at once. What if the sheer emotional exhaustion you feel every day is not from trying to move forward, but from trying to drag the past along with you? Here is a painful reality of living in comparison when you cannot let go of someone you lost. Every new interaction becomes a crowded room. You may be sitting at a quiet cafe with someone new. They are telling a story, leaning in, trying to build a bridge to your heart. But quietly, invisibly, there is a third person sitting at the table. You are splitting your energy between the living soul in front of you and the ghost you brought with you. You are holding two people at your center, and the weight is crushing you. This mental division creates a deep, silent ache. You feel guilty for not giving the new person your full attention, yet you feel terrified of letting the old person finally fade. You are physically occupying the present, but emotionally chained to a time that has already ended. It makes every new relationship feel like a betrayal, and every old memory feel like a prison. Buddhism reminds us that true peace can only exist in the present moment. Suffering arises when our physical body is here, but our mind is wandering through a landscape that no longer exists. To live divided is to live in constant spiritual tension. When you try to hold on to what was, while simultaneously reaching for what could be, you tear your own peace in half. Imagine you are standing on the shore of a vast, calm lake. Someone is waiting for you in a small boat, offering you their hand to row out into the open water and explore. But with your other hand, you are gripping an iron anchor that is buried deep in the sand behind you. You stretch out, you pull, you struggle. The water looks inviting, but the anchor is impossibly heavy. You cannot sail into the new water while refusing to release the iron of the past. Eventually, the tension will exhaust you, and the person in the boat will have to row away, leaving you alone on the shore. We do this in our modern lives all the time. We go on dates, we enter new commitments, we try to open our hearts, but we keep the anchor buried. We scroll through old messages late at night. We quietly replay the way the person who left used to say our name, right before meeting someone new who wants to make us smile. We wonder why we feel so exhausted by love. It is because holding two people in your mind requires a massive amount of energy. You are carrying a ghost, and ghosts are unimaginably heavy. Think about your own life. When you are with someone new, where is your mind? What are you afraid will happen if you finally let go of the anchor? Are you holding on because you still love them, or because you are terrified of the empty space they will leave behind? Pause, breathe, feel your feet on the ground. The next time your mind wanders away from the person in front of you to visit the person who left, gently call yourself back. Say silently, "I am here. That was then. This is now." Do not judge yourself for drifting, but refuse to live divided. Give the present moment your undivided respect. You cannot hold hands with the future if your fists are tightly closed around the past. But realizing you are holding on is only a piece of the journey. To truly let go, you must face the nature of the river itself and understand why everything must eventually change. And this is where the next truth begins. 4. The river of impermanence. Here is a quiet truth about suffering. It is born the exact moment we demand that something temporary become permanent. What if the hardest part of losing someone is not that they are gone, but your refusal to accept that everything must eventually change? When we meet someone new, the underlying urge to compare them to our past is often a silent protest against change. We do not just miss the person we lost, we miss the season of life they represented. We desperately try to recreate the exact emotional climate we once knew. We look at a new person and expect them to rewind the clock, to hand us back the life we had before the loss. But time only moves in one direction. Trying to force a new relationship to perfectly mirror an old one is an impossible demand. In Buddhist thought, the root of much of our pain is our deep resistance to impermanence. We are taught to believe that if something is beautiful or meaningful, it must last forever to be truly valuable. But Buddhism reminds us that the nature of life is constant, unstoppable flow. Every person we meet, every connection we make, is temporary. Every joy, every sorrow, and every relationship is in motion. Imagine you are sitting by a wide, gentle river. The water is clear, and as it flows past, it brings beautiful leaves, drifting wood, and brilliant reflections of the sun. You see a vibrant autumn leaf float by. You reach out, grab it, and hold it tightly in your hand. You love this leaf. You want to keep it exactly as it is. But the longer you hold it, the more it dries out and crumbles. And while you are staring at your closed hand, mourning the broken leaf, you are missing the countless new, beautiful things the river is bringing toward you right in this very moment. This is exactly what we do when we refuse to let the past go. We cling to a dynamic, a conversation, an era of our lives that has already drifted downstream. We stare into our closed hands, heartbroken over what crumbled, while a new person, someone full of completely different light and different warmth, is floating right past us. We fail to appreciate the new connection because we are angry at the river for flowing. We are angry at the world for changing. Think about your own life. Are you still trying to grasp water that has already passed? What are you afraid will happen if you simply let the river flow? Is your insistence on comparing this new person to your past bringing you peace? Or is it only feeding your fear of the unknown? Pause. Breathe. Feel the movement of life around you. The next time you feel the panic of things being different, do not fight it. Stop trying to force the door open backward. Let the feeling rise without making it your identity. Silently acknowledge that the river is moving and that it is okay. You cannot stop the river from flowing, but you can choose to float instead of fight. Letting go of the person who left is vital to finding your peace. But sometimes, what we are truly holding on to is not the person at all. It is the familiar cycle they kept us in, because beneath every reaction is a pattern waiting to be understood. And this is where the next truth begins. 5. The patterns we cling to. What if the hardest thing to let go of is not the person who left, but the familiar way they made you suffer? Here is a deeply uncomfortable truth. Sometimes, when we constantly compare a new person to a past love, we are not actually missing their kindness. We are missing their shadows. You meet someone new. They are calm, consistent, and they genuinely want to be there. But instead of feeling safe, you feel suspicious. You feel a strange emptiness. You might even convince yourself there is no spark. But often, what we call a spark is just the anxiety of an unpredictable heart. We become so used to the chaos of being ignored, or the exhausting effort of trying to prove our worth, that the quiet arrival of a healthy connection feels completely wrong. We reject the peace because it does not match the pain we have memorized. In Buddhist thought, much of our suffering comes from a deep, unconscious attachment to familiar cycles. We repeat the same steps over and over, because the mind prefers the certainty of known pain over the mystery of true freedom. We cling to our old wounds because, for a long time, they were the only things keeping us company. Imagine a bird that has lived its entire life inside a small, heavy iron cage. For years, it has flown in the same tight, frustrating circles. One day, a gentle breeze swings the cage door wide open. The infinite, beautiful blue sky is right there, but the bird looks out at the vastness and feels terrified. Instead of flying free, it retreats to the darkest corner of the cage. It chooses the familiar bars over the terrifying freedom of the open air. The bird is no longer trapped, but it remains a prisoner of its own conditioning. We do exactly this in our own lives when a new, open-hearted person walks in. The door is open, the sky is waiting, but we retreat to the corner. We look at this new person and secretly wish they would close the door and recreate the familiar tension of the past. We go looking for the old arguments. We search for reasons to feel inadequate again. We compare their peaceful consistency to the old, dramatic storms. And we convince ourselves the storm was better simply because we knew how to survive it. Think about your own life. Are you pushing away a good person because they do not fit the mold of your old heartbreak? Ask yourself, are you truly seeking a deep connection, or are you just looking for the familiar shape of your old suffering? Pause, breathe, observe the thought without following it. The next time you feel that strange discomfort when a new person treats you well, do not run from it. Sit with it. Let the feeling rise without making it your identity. Recognize it not as a lack of love, but as the quiet shock of finally entering the open sky. You do not have to fly in circles anymore. You do not need to choose the cage just because you know the texture of the iron. But choosing the sky means learning how to be comfortable in the empty, quiet spaces where the chaos used to be. And this is where the next truth begins. 6. The courage to sit with the void. What if the emptiness you are running from is actually the only place where true healing can begin? When we lose someone, we are left with a terrifying silence. To escape that silence, we often rush into the company of new people, using them as shields against the quiet ache of being alone. We try to mold them into the shape of our past, not because we love the past, but because the past is loud enough to drown out our present pain. We are terrified of the void left behind. We believe that if we just find someone who acts the same, speaks the same, or feels the same, the agonizing emptiness will finally disappear. Buddhism offers a very different perspective on this emptiness. In Buddhist wisdom, the void is not a tragedy. It is not a dark, hollow hole that must be urgently filled. It is a space of infinite potential. It is the clearing where new life is permitted to grow. Suffering arises when we view this empty space as a problem to be solved, rather than a sacred pause in the natural rhythm of our lives. Imagine a beautiful, ancient forest where a massive, deeply rooted tree has just fallen. The crash is loud. The destruction feels absolute. For a long time, there is just a gaping, painful hole in the canopy where that tree used to stand. The forest floor is left bare, suddenly bathed in a strange, blinding sunlight. If you panic, you might try to drag dead branches into the space, desperately trying to recreate the shade you were used to. But if you simply wait, if you allow the empty space to exist, that very sunlight will touch seeds in the soil that have been sleeping for years. The clearing becomes the exact place where an entirely new kind of life begins to bloom. This is what happens when we refuse to sit with the void in our own lives. We desperately drag the dead branches of our past relationships into our present, trying to cast the same familiar shadow. We go on dates we are not ready for. We reach out to people just to avoid spending the evening in our own minds. We use the living, breathing human beings in front of us as mere bandages for a wound we refuse to look at. By rushing to fill the void with old patterns, we do not allow the sunlight of the present to reach the soil of our hearts. Think about your own life. Are you truly ready to welcome someone new, or are you just running from the quiet of your own company? What are you so afraid you will hear if you finally let the room be silent? Pause. Breathe. Stop trying to fill the space. The next time you feel the panic of emptiness rising within you, do not reach for a distraction. Do not reach for a memory, and do not project that memory onto the stranger sitting across from you. Simply sit still. Let the silence hold you. Let the feeling rise without making it your identity. You do not need to fix the void. You only need to let it breathe. Because learning to sit peacefully with your own emptiness is the only way you will ever stop asking others to fill it. It is the only way you can finally clear your vision. And this is where the next truth begins. 7. The art of seeing someone new. What if the greatest gift you could ever give a person is simply the willingness to look at them with clear eyes? Here is a quiet, painful truth. We rarely see the people in front of us. Most of the time, we are only looking at our own expectations, our own fears, and our own unhealed memories. When you carry the heavy weight of comparison, you are actively stealing the present moment from the new person who is trying to know you. You are asking them to play a rigged game. You are forcing them to navigate a minefield of your old relationship, where they are quietly punished for mistakes they did not make and measured against a standard they never agreed to. Buddhism teaches us the profound beauty of meeting each moment exactly as it is. There is a deep practice in approaching the world without preconceptions, dropping the heavy filters of yesterday so we can witness the reality of today. When we practice true mindfulness, we are not just observing our own breath. We are observing the life right in front of us, giving it the absolute permission to exist without comparing it to anything else. Imagine stepping outside into a quiet forest after a deep, overnight snow. The ground is a brilliant, untouched expanse of white. It is completely peaceful. It is a blank canvas. But instead of walking a new path and experiencing the fresh snow, you spend hours desperately searching the ground, trying to find your old footprints from yesterday. You keep stepping in the same exact spots, frustrated that the shape of the path feels slightly different. You are so obsessed with finding the old trail that you completely ignore the breathtaking beauty of the untouched morning waiting for you to explore it. We do this with our hearts. We meet someone wonderful. They are an entirely new landscape. They have a different way of showing care, a different rhythm to their voice, and a different kind of warmth. But instead of exploring this new path, we start digging in the snow. We look for the exact way our past love used to say good morning. We search for the old footprints. And when this new person inevitably walks a different way, we feel a sudden wave of disappointment. We fail to realize that this new path might actually lead to a much more beautiful destination, if only we had the courage to walk it. Think about your own life. Ask yourself, who are you failing to see right now? Are you giving this new connection the freedom to be exactly who they are? Or are you secretly demanding they prove they are a perfect replacement for the person who left? Pause, breathe, drop the heavy lens. The next time someone new shares a piece of their heart with you, do not immediately run to your memory to find a match. Just listen. Let them unfold. Observe them without judgment. Let them be exactly who they are, without the suffocating pressure of being an apology for your past. You are capable of loving someone new, but only if you actually look at them. To truly see them, you must finally lay the ghost to rest. You must stop waiting for an ending that already happened and learn what it means to actually let go, and this is where the final truth begins. 8. The freedom of true closure. What if the closure you have been searching for does not come from a final conversation, but from a quiet decision within your own mind? We began this journey by looking at the heavy shadows we carry. You have spent so much time carrying a ghost into every new room you enter. You have looked into the eyes of new people and searched desperately for an old, familiar spark. You have tried to stop the river from flowing, and you have hidden in the corner of an open cage because the vastness of the new sky felt entirely too terrifying. But look at how exhausting that resistance has been. Look at how much energy it takes to keep a memory alive at the expense of your own present life. Here is the ultimate truth about letting go. Letting go does not mean you erase the past. It does not mean the person you lost did not matter, or that the love you shared was not deeply real. In Buddhist wisdom, non-attachment is never about coldness, and it is never about forgetting. It is about deeply honoring what was, while absolutely refusing to let it block the light of what is. It is the profound, quiet realization that a chapter of your life has naturally and inevitably come to an end. Think about a magnificent book you once loved reading. When you reach the final page of a beautiful story, you do not rip out the ending. You do not frantically demand that the exact same characters appear in the very next book you open. You close the cover gently, you hold it to your chest, you let the story change you, and then you place it gracefully on the shelf, allowing yourself to open a completely new book. This new story does not have to use the same words to be beautiful. It only requires you to read it with an open mind. You are allowed to close the cover. You are allowed to let the person you lost remain safely in your past, without dragging their heavy expectations into your beautiful present. When you finally stop comparing, a tremendous, undeniable weight will lift from your shoulders. You will suddenly realize that the people sitting across from you are not failing your tests. They are offering you completely new beginnings. The void you were so afraid of is just a clearing where the sun can finally shine. The river is not taking things away from you, it is bringing you exactly what you need. True closure is not a dramatic event that happens to you. It is a daily, living practice. It is the quiet, courageous act of unclenching your fists every single morning. It is realizing that peace was never hidden in a perfect replacement for the past, Peace is what happens when you finally grant yourself the permission to live right here, in the present moment. Pause. Breathe. Feel the lightness of your own open hands. You do not need to carry the ghost anymore. If these lessons touched your heart, share this video with someone who may need a little more peace today. You can let go now.